On November 5th, 2023, a Honda HA420 HondaJet, registered as November 57 Hotel Papa, was involved in a tragic accident at Falcon Field Airport near Phoenix, Arizona. The aircraft had 5 people on board at the time. Tragically, 4 passengers lost their lives, along with the driver of a ground vehicle struck by the jet after it veered off the runway. Recently, the NTSB released its preliminary report on the incident. Join us as we delve into the details of this case and examine the findings. The aircraft involved in the accident was a Honda HA420, operated by ICE MAN HOLDINGS LLC, and was categorized as an airplane under general aviation. At the time of the incident, visual meteorological conditions prevailed, with clear skies, no significant cloud cover, and visibility extending up to 10 miles. The weather was stable and had an altimeter setting of 29.85 inches of mercury. The flight, filed under instrument flight rules, departed from Falcon Field Airport in Mesa, Arizona, en route to Provo Municipal Airport in Provo, Utah. Daylight conditions prevailed at the time of the crash, which occurred approximately 1 nautical mile from the departure airport. The purpose of the flight was a same-day round trip to attend a college basketball game in Utah with no luggage packed for the journey. According to a witness and close friend of the passengers, the pilot had refueled the aircraft using a private fuel tank before departure. While the exact fuel quantity added was unclear, the pilot reportedly assured the friend that sufficient fuel was on board for the journey, with plans to refuel at Provo Municipal Airport before the return leg. The friend did not witness the aircraft's takeoff. The accident at Falcon Field Airport unfolded when the Honda HA420 overran the 5,100-foot-long runway 22 left during an attempted aborted takeoff. The aircraft was cleared for takeoff from runway 22 left by the air traffic control tower at Falcon Field Airport. This was the final communication received from the cockpit. Security footage later reviewed by investigators documented the takeoff sequence, capturing the aircraft accelerating along the runway centerline. At approximately 3,000 feet from the approach end of the runway, leaving only 2,100 feet remaining, the aircraft began to decelerate, but despite the runway meeting the operational needs of the HondaJet, which is designed for runways as short as 4,000 feet under typical conditions, it failed to stop in time, breaching the airport's perimeter fence and colliding with a vehicle on North Greenfield Road. Surveillance footage revealed the aircraft nearing the runway's end with heavy braking evident as smoke rose from the locked wheels. Despite the pilot's apparent attempt to abort the takeoff, the airplane overran the departure end of the runway. It breached the airport perimeter fence approximately 600 feet beyond the runway's end before continuing across an adjacent roadway. During this trajectory, the airplane collided with a moving vehicle, killing its single occupant, before coming to a stop on the far side of the road. A post-impact fire engulfed the aircraft, causing severe damage to the fuselage, which fractured forward of the wing's leading edge. The wreckage underwent an initial on-scene examination before being transported to a secure facility for further analysis. Investigators confirmed flight control continuity from the cockpit to all control surfaces, with no evidence of in-flight structural failure or component separation before the aircraft striking the perimeter fence. The control column gust lock was found uninstalled, and an inspection of the airplane's brake and anti-skid systems revealed no anomalies. The devastating accident claimed the lives of 5 individuals, leaving families and a community in mourning. Among the victims were pilot Spencer Lindahl, 43, passengers Rustin Randall, 48, Drew Kimball, 44, and his 12-year-old son Graham Kimball, all aboard the Honda HA420 aircraft. The crash also took the life of 67-year-old Ray Longhi, the driver of the vehicle struck by the plane as it overran the runway and breached the airport perimeter. The sole survivor of the crash, identified as 18-year-old Kimball Lindahl, was initially hospitalized with burn injuries, but has since been released and is recovering at home. Kimball now faces the profound loss of his father Spencer and other close friends in the accident. Tanya Kimball, the wife and mother of Drew and Graham, shared a heartfelt tribute to her loved ones, expressing her grief and faith. "We are completely devastated, but find solace in knowing there was a glorious reunion with Braden on the other side. We stand and know, without a doubt, that families are forever," she wrote, referencing her late son Braden, who passed away in December 20th, 23. Tanya also extended her prayers and support to the families of the other victims, acknowledging the profound impact of the tragedy. As the community mourns the loss of these lives, attention turns to the sequence of events that led to this tragedy, ultimately pointing to a critical decision made by the pilot during the attempted takeoff. Spencer Lindahl, the pilot of the ill-fated flight, held a private pilot certificate with ratings for single-engine and multi-engine airplanes, as well as an instrument airplane rating. His qualifications included type ratings for the Cessna Citation Mustang CETES 510S and the HondaJet HA420, both with single pilot privileges. Certified in February 20th, 22, Spencer had a second-class medical certificate issued in June 2023, which confirmed he met the physical standards required for private flying. Beyond aviation, Spencer was known for his adventurous spirit, finding joy in flying, working on his family ranch in Colorado, and engaging in outdoor pursuits like moving cattle or building fence lines. He was a dedicated entrepreneur, a gentle giant with a playful nature, infectious laughter, and a knack for making everyone feel like family. Spencer's faith and leadership were also evident in his service as a missionary in Quetzaltenango, Guatemala, where he cultivated skills that shaped his life. Despite his passion for flying and extensive certifications, the circumstances surrounding this tragic accident serve as a poignant reminder of the challenges and responsibilities inherent in aviation. Spencer's decision to abort the takeoff at approximately 133 knots, well above the Honda HA420 V1 speed of 110 knots, was a critical error that contributed directly to the accident. V1 is the takeoff decision speed, the point at which a pilot must commit to either continuing the takeoff or aborting it safely. Beyond this speed, rejecting the takeoff becomes increasingly dangerous, as there is typically insufficient runway remaining to stop the aircraft. For the HondaJet, the recommended rotation speed is around 105 knots, meaning the aircraft should have been airborne by this stage. The late decision to reject the takeoff left too little distance to decelerate effectively, even with maximum braking and aerodynamic aids such as the speed brake. This misjudgment, coupled with the absence of any reported mechanical anomalies, highlights the importance of strict adherence to V1 protocols to avoid scenarios where an overrun becomes inevitable. According to the preliminary report, one significant obstacle in the investigation is the absence of a cockpit voice recorder, or CVR, on the Honda HA420, as such devices are not required for aircraft of this size and category. A CVR would have provided crucial insights into the pilot's decision-making process, in-flight communications, and any cockpit alerts or warnings leading up to the accident. Without this critical tool, investigators must rely on limited flight log data from the Garmin 3000 Integrated Flight Deck, G3000, physical evidence from the wreckage, and survivor accounts to piece together the events. The G3000, equipped with a removable secure data card and central maintenance data storage within its primary and multifunction displays, recorded that the aircraft reached a takeoff speed of approximately 130 knots before decelerating, with no engine irregularities identified in the data. The primary flight displays and multifunction displays have been sent to the NTSB Recorder's Laboratory for detailed analysis of maintenance data, which will be critical in understanding the operational conditions and decisions leading up to the accident. This lack of audio recordings complicates efforts to determine why the pilot aborted the takeoff at such a high speed, well beyond the V1 threshold, and whether any cockpit discussions or issues influenced the decision. A key aspect of the Honda HA420 that may have contributed to the tragic outcome at Falcon Field is its unique design, particularly its over-the-wing engine configuration and tail-mounted spoiler system. The over-the-wing engine placement enhances fuel efficiency, reduces cabin noise, and maximizes interior space, making it a standout feature in its class. However, the jet's design also comes with certain operational trade-offs, especially in emergency scenarios like rejected takeoffs. Unlike traditional wing-mounted spoilers, which spoil, lift, and shift more weight onto the landing gear to enhance braking, the HondaJet's tail-mounted spoilers primarily create aerodynamic drag. While effective for tasks like emergency descents, they do not provide the braking assistance typically offered by wing-mounted systems. This limitation may have played a role in the aircraft's inability to decelerate effectively during the high-speed abort at 133 knots. While the dry conditions at Falcon Field were not adverse, the jet's braking system and spoiler design may still have been less effective in this high-speed scenario. Ultimately, the combination of a late takeoff rejection, the absence of wing-mounted spoilers, and the jet's lightweight design likely reduced its stopping capability on the remaining runway. As investigators work to uncover the causes of the crash, the community continues to rally around the grieving families, offering support and remembrance. Well, that's end of today's episode. Remember, V1 speed is your takeoff decision point. If you're past it, commit to the skies. Trying to stop might just turn your runway into a drag strip. High-stress situations can happen. Keep calm, follow protocols, and make decisions wisely. Subscribe, and we'll see you next time.